When this morning's guest started his art career, his landscape was a battlefield. His art has changed, and so has its purpose. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Conference Center on the Grand Strand campus of Horry Georgetown Technical College. We're focused on the art of fundraising. And we're visiting with Vic Gillespie, an amazing artist and local community servant. Good morning,
Hello,
Vic.
good to see you, Greg.
And happy Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
We're kicking off the week here,
Turkey
obviously,
week.
at Tech. And,
right.
you know, they're setting up for a big breakfast here this morning. It's a great way to kick it off. They were kind enough to let us in before the breakfast begins. They're going to be getting that rolling, and thank you for coming in.
Maybe we can stay and eat.
That's right. We can crash.
Right, we can crash this thing.
We've got these beautiful pieces of art here, not only on the table, of course, this one, the proceeds donated to the Nazareth Children's Home.
Yes.
We want to talk about that, but some of these beautiful pieces, they're almost surreal. They're so special. I mean, they're just amazing.
Well, it's fun to do, and I've been doing it so long that it's just it's brought a lot of joy to my life, and now we get the chance to give some of it back, and that brings even more joy. So I've been blessed in a lot of ways with that. So I look at art as a means to grow myself and to help other people, and it's a wonderful thing.
That's wonderful. How long have you been painting, Vic?
I've been painting professionally for 38 years. 38
years.
And it's taken me all over. We've sold paintings all over the world, and it's I met so many nice people, and doing that, that's how we got into the charity end. Back about 25 or 30 years ago, we started doing it, and we found out it's such a need in so many places. So many people don't live as fortunate as we do.
Right.
And it gives me a chance as an artist through the generosity of other people. I do the paintings, and then through the generosity of other people, with those buying these prints and
right.
that money going back to help people, it gives me a chance. But I always tell folks, it's not me, it's the people that are nice enough to bring the money out and say, I'll take money out of my pocket and make this happen. So
I was reading a little piece from the Salisbury Shag Club where someone up there was pushing other shag clubs around the Carolinas, possibly the Southeast, or around the country, to go ahead and try to sell at least 10 prints of a piece to really help support an amazing local charity.
Is that what, if each of them sold 10, it would sell it out, and it would make $100,000 for the Nazareth Children's Home.
$100,000 for the Nazareth Children's Home?
Right, and that would be, that's what we're shooting for, and we feel like we can do that in the next 3 or 4 months.
So how many shag clubs are there?
There's about 100 shag clubs, and then there's several other organizations that's involved in shagging.
Right.
But
so each group would need to sell 10 or $100 each?
If they sold 10 or $100
that
each.
is a laydown.
The nice thing is, you can go to these folks and it gives you a chance to go to the shag clubs and dance and have a good time and help the kids at the same time. So it's really a fun thing. It should be against the law to be able to do those kind of things.
Listen to you. Are you originally from the area, Vic?
No, I grew up in Alamance County, up in North Carolina.
Oh, great. For our viewers in Robinson and Scotland and Columbus and Brunswick County, they're familiar with Alamance. Probably some of our PD and Grand Strand viewers are familiar with Alamance County.
I've never lived out in North Carolina except for, I'm living here now in Little River, and I lived up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But North Carolina's been good to me.
Yeah.
And I think South Carolina's going to be good to me
song.
too.
Is that a North Carolina's been good to me? That sounds like a song I've heard before.
We did Andy Griffith and myself did a series of commercials for North Carolina.
Wait, real quick. Did you just say Andy Griffith?
Yes.
You and Andy Griffith did a series of commercials?
For the state of North Carolina called I Like Calling North Carolina Home.
Right.
And we had Loomis McGlohon, the late Loomis McGlohon from Charlotte, to come in and do the music, and that really gave me a chance to get all over North Carolina, to see so many beautiful places and paint them, and I came away with a new appreciation for the beauty of the state.
Right.
And we're blessed to live in a beautiful country.
I think a lot of viewers are probably wondering right now, how did this guy get hooked up with Andy Griffith? What happened there?
I lived on Roanoke Island, and Andy had a house on Roanoke Island. We was next door neighbors.
Right.
And when we thought about doing this thing for North Carolina through the Association of Broadcasters, then they asked me to go ask Andy if he would do the voiceovers and come in and talk about the state. And
right.
he was gracious. He did. He's done so much for North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah.
But that was a fun thing. That was a fun thing. Like I say, I've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
But the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, is hard to beat.
Yes, yes.
It's hard to beat.
You still have family in Alamance County, though?
Yes, my mother still lives there.
Great. Yeah.
And I got a mother and a sister lives there.
You'll probably be head up there for Thanksgiving.
Going there for Thanksgiving.
Heading up on Thursday. That is wonderful.
Right. Matter of fact, being a pretty young lady that allows me to spend time with her, we going up and have dinner with my mother.
Let's hear about this pretty young lady. My Lord. Yeah. Is this someone there in Little River?
Yes.
Right.
School teacher.
She's a school teacher. Good. That's a great way to communicate.
Kind of frightening sometimes because she's so much smarter than I am. But other than that, it's a fun thing.
We had a longtime school teacher on last Thursday, the Honorable Crane E. Woods, who'd been in Horry County education since '62, and he'd retired a few years ago. He's from Due West, South Carolina, and hearing him talk about communicating with students and the ability to bond with students back in the '60s, when oftentimes students who may have been neglected would want to move in with him and his wife Julia. Your significant other there's probably found that same bond over time with students who really turn to their teachers as a figure in their lives.
But I think sometimes we forget how much teachers do. We pay them way too little money for all the things they do for the people of this state.
Right.
And but education is important.
Yes. Yeah.
We try to work with education how we can, and you think about Thanksgiving, and if everybody that's going to eat Thanksgiving dinner would say, each adult would say, let me give $10. Look for the pile of money you could have to go out and do things.
Right.
To help education, to help people that's not
right.
having anything to eat today, or a youngster that needs help going here and there. This charity thing is
yeah. Education is so vital. Absolutely.
It's our turn. We need to work hard toward making sure they get what they need and can go where they need.
We want to talk obviously more about education and charities, but if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best way for someone to reach you, to hear about some of these amazing nonprofit groups that you're helping to support through the sales of your art, or just to learn about you in particular if they need to get out of the house now? What's the best way to reach you?
They can reach me at 843
right.
281 8115.
Okay, 843-281-8115. And obviously, if they called you now, I mean, surely you're not there, but if they called, could they leave a message there?
Yes, we got a message, and look forward to talking to anybody who wants to talk about it.
Great, great.
There's so much to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I saw it one time. Vic, share with viewers about your painting in Vietnam. Wasn't there an instance I read on a website, maybe the Collector's Corner, the Art Gallery and Custom Framing website up in Brunswick County, about you actually painting in the jungles of Vietnam?
Well, actually,
it wasn't in the jungles, but in Vietnam.
I was in the infantry, the 1st Infantry Division, and when we came in from the jungle, he always was trying to figure a way to get out of doing the details like guarding the perimeter and this kind of stuff, so I started painting scenes. And
you may not want to admit that on air here. But, yeah.
That sound
I didn't
good.
want to guard the perimeter, so I painted. Yeah.
Well, it gave you an opportunity to do some things from the United States that the people there could enjoy.
Right.
And that's actually where the art thing started. I came back from Vietnam and went to school to be a commercial artist. And by the time I got out of school, I was selling too much art to justify never went to work.
Wow.
And since then, it's been amazing. It's really been amazing. But Vietnam started it.
Vietnam started your art career.
Deciding to go and do that.
I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase. Vietnam started it.
It didn't start many things.
When you think about it,
right.
Vietnam started it. Really started your art career.
Right.
That's special. I mean, that's special to think about the impact, because so often there's negative impressions or negative thoughts associated with the time of our folks serving there, and obviously with Veterans Day having occurred just a couple weeks ago, to think about the impact the veterans have had. But for you, it helped to jumpstart your art career.
Right, it really did. And the wall was here last week, and it makes you realize too how blessed you are not to be on that wall.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of good people.
Well, I got to say a quick plug for the Myrtle Beach Herald. Obviously, the paper that's in newsstands today. A real opportunity to focus on a trip that Tom O'Dare, our editor, made with a group of about 130 veterans up to the nation's capital to view the World War II memorial there. Very special experience for him, both in his column, our editorial highlighted, and then a whole page of amazing pictures dedicated to that. So I want to encourage viewers when we're talking about veterans, please pick up a copy of this week's Herald. Obviously, the one coming out on Thanksgiving will be entirely different, but last week's issue is powerful, to say the least. Powerful, to say the least, much like much of your amazing art here. Share with viewers what it's like for you, like this piece right behind us here. How long would something like that take, Vic? And is this actually what you see in your mind's eye, or do you take a picture of something and then paint it from that?
That's a made-up thing.
That's all out of your head.
It takes about 2 months with the drawings and to get them everything like you want it. But living at the beach, you have a lot of friends all of a sudden.
And a lot of friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'll come down, and they'll invariably go out on the beach and they collect shells.
Yes.
And they say, well, I'm going to take these shells back home. And they put them in these little piles.
Right.
And then when they get ready to leave, in the rush of leaving, they leave them. So
they leave them there.
That's the name of the painting, Forgotten Memories.
Forgotten Memories.
Yes,
that's a great name. Yeah,
but,
and then coming up with the names themselves is a big deal.
Well,
oftentimes, is that out of your head? Do you have any help there?
I think I try to think in terms of what are you trying to communicate, and each painting should tell a story somehow.
Right.
That you do, and that's why, like I say, with the Forgotten Memories things. That's we've got the Gallardias, the wild beach Gallardias, and the pennywort, and then the shells that are from the area, and then the gulls back through the
right
fence.
Out there. I don't know if viewers can see those very well. It's kind of difficult. There, you said the Gallardias?
Gallardias, yeah, the wild Gallardias that grow on the beach.
I need to come to a painting class or something.
Painting's much fun.
Is it cathartic for you? That's fine. Yeah,
it's great. You can go
cleansing.
And there's so much. Sometimes I hear artists say, "Well, I don't know what I'm going to paint. I could paint for the next 100 years and never make a dent in what I want to paint." And it's so much out there, and there's so much that you want to do.
We had a guest with us a couple of weeks ago. We were filming a collector's cafe and art gallery. We had a gentleman in from Durham, North Carolina. He'd driven down the night before to be on the show that week, and it was fascinating. He owns a studio in Durham, the Shaw School and Studio, and they are dedicated to finger painting, an art that was created by a woman from Duplin County, born in 1888, Ruth Faison Shaw, who, of course, has turned that into a therapeutic form for psychiatric patients and otherwise. Finger painting was fascinating, much like you said, oftentimes here, where it's coming out of your mind. She would often start a piece and have no idea where it was going with her fingers or with her elbows or with her body, and it would go, and she'd have a creation there at the end, but not knowing. Does that ever happen to you, Vic, that you'd start a piece, or do you need to see something in your head before you begin?
Well, I think in the beginning, I do little drawings of everything.
Really? Yeah.
Little thumbnail things, so big, and you start putting them together until you get the final image in your mind. And, when I first started painting, you just paint. Now, it's a lot of thought that goes into the end result.
Yeah.
But the thought process is probably the most fun of the painting. After you get all that done, it's just kind of like painting by numbers, filling the spots in. But it's every artist has a different process.
Yeah.